Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. This is Gail of Gaia, and this is Free Range. And I have an announcement to make. I got a call tonight just before the show was to begin from Drake Bailey telling me that he had no internet service. So I want to have you know that up front. But I still have with me today Jenny Lee, the remote viewer, seer, and psychic medium. And Dot Connector will be participating whenever she wants as well. So let me bring on Jenny. Hi, Jenny.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Having a few little minor difficulties, but we're doing good. Um,
Good.
well, we got a bright background, don't we?
Yeah, that is really bright. That looks like more of a
Yeah.
5D brick. Yeah, that's good. It's a really pretty background.
Okay, and that if she wants to come on, that's Dot Connector or Christine. We have some people in the chat. We encourage you to ask questions about anything, really, whatever your.
You just cut out. I can't. Okay.
Gail.
Something cut out. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I can't hear Gail. Gail? You're not muted? Okay. Well, how are you doing today, Jenny?
How you doing, girl?
Good. That picture behind you is another one from Jim Warren, of course.
Oh,
And
really?
it's so cool. It's called "And Butterflies Are Free to Fly." You know how like the song?
Yeah.
So it's really cool if you look at it. But we can't see all of it
Did you remember
right now.
last time? What was it? 4 or
Can
5
you hear me now?
times? There you
Can you hear me now?
There's Gail. She's
There's
back.
Gail.
Back again. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
We can.
Freaking
Yes,
me
we
out
can.
there. I don't know why everything's plugged in and it should be. It did switch. So, okay, good. Thank goodness for that. Well,
Can you hear us?
yes, I can hear you just fine now.
Okay.
Yeah. I think what happened is my microphone audio disconnected and went to the computer, and then I had to check on that, and it wasn't where the way it was supposed to be. That's what was going on. So anyway,
too funny. Okay.
enough of that. So I was just wondering how everybody's feeling out there about what has been going on in the world today.
In the world today. In the 3D world.
The 3D world. Yeah, that was kind of broad spectrum. How about locally?
Locally, on this planet. So, for a past 24 hours, things will change in the next coming 2 weeks, and things will be reversed. That it's not the same system that it was before, and allowing the rat to trap itself this time. So you'll be
caught in the act.
Yes, very stupid. Like, oh my gosh, again. But yeah, let's just see how it kind of like it's really bad at the end of.
Well, we got away with it the first time.
Yeah, we're gonna do it again. But I think to explode them as this is what not to do this. There's going to be a price. I'm just saying. So
okay.
Well, what do you mean by that? There's going to be a price for what?
Well, it's going to be a smack on the hand, but it's going to be a hard smack on the hand. I'm just telling you, it's not going to be an easy. Yeah.
You're cutting out quite a bit, Jenny. So if you're, maybe it's if you move away from your microphone.
Is that better?
A little bit.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I don't know. We're in the middle of a
It's kind of like
snowstorm here. I don't know if what you guys are, but we're in the middle of a snowstorm here.
Oh, wow. Somebody's asking me, be in joy oneness. Drake was supposed to be here, but he called me about just before the show, really, and said that he had no internet service. So,
Kind of convenient.
I mean, he's got the link. If his internet service comes on, he's welcome to come on at any time. So,
Yeah, Drake, you
anyway.
need to get in here. I'm just saying. So I think we should start with questions that people want to be.
That was one question up there, but I'm not sure what they mean. Jenny, is the majority of the I'm going to think maybe
It's
they're
bad
trying to
or
say
good?
Palladians.
I think that's Palladians,
Yeah, bad or good.
but the ends are good. So I know that there's an astral travel group going around, and they are 100% wrong on that. So yes, they've always been good. They will remain good. So yeah, it's like when we get to a point that things are going good, then someone has to change the situation or try to lead them down a different path. So yeah, yes.
No, okay. Somebody's asking, what do you mean a smack on the hand, and from what?
Well, it'll be the last smack on their hand. They're, thinking that they are
Will they be arrested?
lawless. They will.
Okay.
They will be the, I can say, I don't want to make YouTube upset, but relation for a while. So I don't. But I mean, people with money get people to do stupid things. So stop now, and at the end, it's all going to be tabbled up, and people are going to know. We'll see what happens. And I got to tell you, Minnesota, worst. Soak in. I gotta say, it's soaked in here, in where I'm from. So I think that one's of how bad that's state is. Pretty bad.
Hmm. Well,
So that's going to be yeah. Go ahead.
So things will be found out. Things that are going on that are repeating themselves from something that happened a couple years ago. I think it was.
Yeah, I think so. And they did. Maybe you think you'll get away with it again, but I got to tell you, I don't really think it matters. I think we're in a different process right now. I don't think that's an old process. I don't think it really matters. I think that's just showing you an example, but I don't think things are processing right now and who are in control. It's not the same. I don't believe so. So I've always said it's a council process, not in a presidential or election process anymore. I think it was over last time. I think it is still over. So we'll see at the end of everything when I don't feel that this is really that important. It's just expected to do things. And at the end, people are going to realize it just didn't really matter.
What about this one, Jenny? Do you know anything about Hollow Earth?
So, and I've been working on a drawing on that. And especially with, I believe, the council, everything being created is underneath us now. It is, so that's hidden, but is being created in inner Earth, and that's been there for a while. Ships down there for a long time. Everything's gonna. So I mean, and I've, there's different types of beings down there. It's like we were on top. If I knew that all this activity was below, I would have been down below. You know what I'm saying? That's going to wake people up when they realize, like, man, I wish I was down there. So I just telling you, there's a lot. There's a lot of materials down there. There's a lot.
Yeah, I've heard all kinds of things, all kinds of cities.
So can I ask, just to clarify, because you were breaking up a bit. So basically, there's a lot of beings, ships, maybe artifacts, technology, all this stuff that we just don't know about yet underneath us in the hollow earth, correct?
Right. Everything's in the hollow earth.
It will be revealed.
Yeah, everything.
And that's a good thing for us.
Right. And everything's going to be surfaced to the top. That's the whole thing. Everything is going to surface to the top. That's the whole process of this. It's almost down of the reality. The reality has always been inside. And this illusion has been on the outside, in the confined space, in the confined money. I'm just saying it's all going to change to the light. So I mean, in our history, our planet, our history's in our planet for a long time.
We go through cycles, don't we?
Yeah.
Are you still there?
Well, I just think the cycle is being the fact that they wanted to dump, and I think now we're just had it because they think if we knew, I definitely say that we would not be on top of the planet. We would all be what's going on. And so that has been hidden for a long time on purpose to confine us. So we're at the point that it's not, and I think it's a good thing. And I think that man need to interact with other beings completely across the board. And I think with that, I think people will start to see people connection of energy instead of their skin color. I think that's what's going to change it. If they're pink, purple, green, whatever they are, it's your conscience is expanding and accepting and changing. It's dismantle that man program.
By the way, thank you, DB Harmon, for a generous donation. Thank you very much. I appreciate it immensely. Okay. So, what about Nasara? Sarah, do you have any? What does Spirit tell you about that? Is
that's up and running? I believe it's been up and running for a while. 3D just crashes and burns. 4D, which just stand right. That's the whole thing. Our whole society has to crumble down. So everything that is good that we need in the future is going to stand up. We're afraid of that, but it's part of the process that needs to happen. Everybody's worried about the solar flash, but I'm not.
Yeah. Well, that was just the next question, but
yeah. But that's the whole thing is for anything, for this process to happen, everything has to crash. Everything has to come down to arise and stand up and hold that support all completely. And it's just that this is a part of our witness is that it's something that will bring us to our need, value, and understand through to get here. It's a very important. So I think we're already in it. It's just underneath us, and it's not.
Okay, you're cutting out again.
We have a snowstorm here, so
wow, yeah, it's
let me move to
sketchy.
Let me move to a different area, guys. But I'm going to move to a different area and see if it's better. We're in a big. Weather is really bad right now outside and everything. So
you're having a you're having a snowstorm there, huh?
Yes, we are. It's been pretty bad. So this is probably about as good as.
Somebody mentioned this is kind of, I hate to, it's a different subject, but I'm going to throw it out there about how the Mississippi is all dried up.
Yes, and I've talked about the water being drained, and even to keep an eye on the water, and for things to when you're surfacing big items, it's going to, especially in or out, and it's going to suck the water from the top and moving it down, and plus the other stuff they've been doing and digging in the ground to clear out the duns, and that water is going to surface, and then it's going to dry up certain areas. It's just part of the process. That's what it's from. And so if you imagine things surfacing and what it's taking, the force of pulling that water down. And talking about that, I've been drawing those ships and that information for a long time. That's the thing about it.
Okay. Do you think that everybody from Congress will get arrested when NESARA is totally implemented?
I already think a lot of them have already. Okay. I mean, a big percentage of this process is already done. I just think they're slowly to show you a certain way that it's happening. That's what I feel.
Right.
Already. So I think
the same way on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're talking about you're cutting in and out a little bit, but okay, keep going.
You have it's the mindset of society, and they have to adapt, and they can only take so much at a time. And there's people at different levels of understanding. It's just part of the process. So that's the problem. And if we all had super brains in every way, they would have released it a long time ago. But no, they're adapting to it the way, the level of understanding. They have to do it this way, even though some and tired of waiting.
Is there a quantum financial system for the voting and financial in play right now? Is that
voting? I don't think matters. I just say that's implemented to catch people. It's not going to matter. Financial is in play, and it's been in. I believe everything is ran underneath our feet, and I believe immaculate programs that are working.
I'm not sure we heard all of that exactly, but
well, like I said, we're having storms here, so
yeah, you keep cutting in and out is what's happening.
So are you saying that the system is being controlled from this hollow earth where they kind of have their stuff together and they'll help us out with that?
Yeah, I believe it's, everybody doesn't understand. They think it's going to be on the surface of the earth, and it's not. They're not running it from there. They're running it, and no one sees it because it's in the ground. The ice capsules, certain areas like that. I'm just telling you, it's all waiting for us. It's waiting for us.
That's nice
to
hear. That's nice to hear that somebody has their stuff together, and that would be fun to help restore Earth with help from them, to be a participant and help people.
Right. Here's somebody saying, according to a top inteller, Cabal is wiped out by this election. I don't know, wiped out in what way? I don't know.
Cabal is wiped out by the election.
Selection, yeah. I guess we have to say selection. Isn't that ridiculous?
Yep.
It's ridiculous. But anyway,
I'm
not on my channel, so they can't take me down because I'm already down.
Don't worry about me. I'm fine.
So anyway, they're cheating their butts off here down here in Maricopa County. From what I hear, there's all kinds of problems already, and the account is taking forever, and there's they won't be ready till Monday. And oh my God, I can't believe it. It's like, wow, blatant.
Well, it just feels like it drags on. It drags on. Everybody wants date completion. What is the completion? Human mindset. That is the problem. They want everything done. Okay, well, look at the way they made it look Tuesday and go, did anybody buy this map? It didn't look like that map that they had. What is going on with the children? I think people are like, what is going on? So I'm just shows you some criminal stuff is still in play. So, does it matter? No. I'm showing an example.
Okay, here's a comment. During a spiritual experience, a part of myself had left, and I was left in a horrible physical state. One side of my body lost feeling, and my mental state suffered. Am I the only one? Any suggestions?
So during the spiritual, my body had left in a horrible physical state.
I'm sure I understand.
It almost sounds like his spirit's trying to exit the body, and the body, it's almost like going in dimensions, and your physical body is trying to leave. So it's a battle. You got to make a decision, telling you, and then to remain control and balance, and never control the spirit completely. You have to get and not in fear on that state at all, and understand that when you're in of the direction of which you can go in.
Okay. Somebody's asking, do you think there'll be an emergency alert broadcast like they talked about?
No.
Did you say? You said no?
No.
Okay.
No. Especially in the red states, I do not. There might be an isolated power outage going, and I would definitely just to contain and control certain individuals.
By the way, do you agree with this statement? Or would spirit agree with it? Let me put it that way. There are no white hats or an ABS happening. It's all a psyop.
I would believe confused to what is in control. And so I think they're not going to tell everybody. And especially when it's a secret out of taking everything out, people have an opinion on things. It's a checklist of things being done, and it's a checklist other to take it down. So when you put titles into it and you expect that one name out of everything, it's not going to work that way. It's humanity to be doing, period. So if you're sitting in society to save you, it's not what you should be doing. So I tell people, it's not an app. You get off the phone and think, or the app, and you think that, okay, that's not the way it's going to work. So, sitting back and waiting, never a choice. The choice was to stand up. So if they were there, you needed to stand up with them and not think that work.
Okay. Let's see what this. Is anyone else aware of this? That scalar wave EES healing centers are springing up across the nation and globe?
Remember I said that these were going to be pods, kiosks. I didn't. They don't need big facilities. They don't need big ones at all. They're smaller. There's no reason. So, the size of hospitals, it's not needed. It's not. So, I mean, at first you're going to see a lot, but then it's going to mellow out after. They're like kiosks. That's what I see. And they're not Spirit had beds because they're like, there's no meds and it's not beds. They're an energy frequency healing device. So that's what they call them. They don't call them those things.
Yeah. The scalar wave technology has been around in spotty areas, and we've actually had people, on the show discussing
Tom Palladino.
Right.
Tom Palladino and Ken Rolla, his home shield has the scalar wave. And it makes sense going into a quantum situation because, it kind of goes that way for the scalar wave in another dimension and all that. It's a vertical wave. And if I may not be correct on this, but I believe Jason Akura, he's a podcaster, and him and Ishmael have gotten together, and they have some kind of global initiative, I believe, with technology. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was this, because they were talking about healing centers.
Right. And that's the thing. They're not big. They're going to phone corners or whatever. I'm just telling you, they aren't going to recognize it at first. But I think what's going to happen with the medical choice, they're going to be offering these new healing facilities. That's what I get. Because you're going to have to give society a choice, because some people are not going to feel comfortable and just saying, you should do this. They're going to be like, you have to give them a choice about making that choice. They're not going to force it on them, but they're going to give them a choice.
And is it going to be I'm being facetious, but the past 2-3 years, there was a choice to make. So, are we all going to just suddenly trust people and go into these pods?
No, I think when they heal from it, that's the evidence that they're going to trust it. And they're going to know that and go through that. That's how they're going to trust it. They're not going to trust it because they say something to society. They're going to want to see it.
The reason I'm asking this specific question is within your answer, because a lot of people who discuss what's been going on in the past 2 to 3 years do say that in 6 months' time and in a year's time, we expect to see this and this. So it's an ongoing problem, not just, it hasn't ended yet.
Right.
So that's why I'm asking. So how long is long enough to know whether somebody's improved, or that they're not,
that process is going
that there's not a nefarious component, I guess. That's all.
The physical body, and they think it takes time for it to heal and go through. I don't maybe a week. I don't see it. We're because we're used to suffering. We're used to going through things a different way. But this is different. And so when someone, it's going to be conscious to accept something healing over a week. Do you understand?
Okay.
Understanding is going to be the problem, and then they're not going to believe it. I think your younger generation's going to be jumping on that bandwagon faster than anyone, getting things done fast and moving through it fast. So I think your older have the biggest problem. That's what I think. So literally down to mindset.
It's because it's like post-traumatic stress disorder. If you think about how many times we've been lied to and all that, that's what I'm.
Right.
So I agree with you. Yeah, we've experienced the brunt of it. Our age group, I think.
Yeah. So the older generation is going to be the worst to get in there. I'm just telling you. Unless they really.
What do you mean getting the worst to get in there? What do you mean by that?
What I mean, as say a daughter has a treatment done and convincing the mother, there's going to be defiance there. There's going to be like, no, I don't want to do it that way. Do you understand their ways? And even if they see the evidence, you're really going to have to have the older generation in there to do it. Their doctors are used to taking, and stuff like that, and it's just something that to think you can heal over a week when they've been dead for years, that's a lot to accept. That's not easy process, and that's the whole thing. A lot of what we're going into, it's the mindset that can't accept that. That's going to be the. Also, where I see is crime. Crime's going to disappear too. That's going to be weird for people. It's going to be very strange for people. There's a process.
It's going to be strange for people because you cut out every once in a while.
Sorry, no crime.
No crime.
Because they have a system for that too, that we in the crime at all. And
well, most crime is a result of economic strife.
Right. And that's going to be hard for them to accept too. So throw that all out there and then just open up the floodgates. It's just, there's no way that everything has to be developed and open in department, a way of balance. And that's, some of us think, gosh, but some of the others can't take it. So ones that are more advanced are waiting back going, come on, hurry up. And then the others, they're starting this process are like, no. So, it's not easy. It's not an easy process. So it's all at different veils of understanding, and everybody has a different opinion on how it works.
Well, I have another one up there that just says, I have seen apartments go up as well as storage facilities. They think think they want to create shortages starting with diesel fuel shortage. There's already a diesel fuel shortage. I just read about that. And that's when your grocery shelves will become a problem, because I guess our reserves are gone at the moment. So they're going to have to correct that situation in whatever manner they, I guess, choose to. But this is where people need to band together and help each other.
I believe,
however that goes,
you're going to believe in the democratic cities on purpose.
On purpose, yeah.
Yeah. So I believe that this is another to awaken certain individuals, but you're going to feel it in the red states.
Yeah.
I feel it. You're going to see it more in.
Yeah. Okay.
It's too much breakup, but we're in the middle of a snowstorm.
Yeah. Let's see. Somebody made a statement. I think they're talking about the alert or the EBS would do more damage than good.
Yeah, I just don't think it's going to happen. I think you're going to be telling you to confine and stay in your home. I believe those are going to be in the inner cities, but that's it. I don't believe you're going to have, because they're going to agree to standard that they are required to.
Well, this is just a comment. They want to get people out of their homes and into smart cities where they have the Internet of Things, and now they're talking about the Internet of Bodies. So,
yeah.
What world do you want to live in?
Yeah, exactly. That's not a world. That's a prison. So I mean, and there's things of understanding, and be a good idea, and some people know that it would not.
Someone has a question for you concerning I guess a dream that she had. I don't know if you can add anything of any value,
but
that might help with that.
You're a plain guy in a black robe, and you are weak. So, I think sometimes you're in nightmares, and sometimes your mind's, your body isn't, and your body feels like it's stuck and it can't move. The conscience to yourself and say you have control of this to it, and you put the fear, you're transparent in it. So I have to say the word that I tell all my clients, and I identify, and that being or that entity is, if you can actually see them in the form that they are, or they're in a different form, but they lose their composure and their strength at that time.
When you ask them to identify? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
It works very well. So when you're that's the first thing that you have to remain calm and to present these words of identification and empower yourself, not go into fear.
Do you agree with this statement that the Council of Worlds is fed up with the truth of the incoming being kept from humanity?
I think they are from looking at us. The Council of the World, truth of the incoming being kept from humanity. Yeah, they are, because it's discussions and arguments and level of understanding and too much ego and yeah, oh my, just too much.
So if you have all these different levels of understanding between so many different people, that makes it sound like, like those that already know what's going on have to wait for everyone to pull up from the back. And that's very frustrating and bothersome to some people. But are they really waiting for everybody to get that far along? I was always under the impression that it really only took a small number of very determined people who know what's going on to make big changes. I don't know.
Well, I mean, the ones that have always been here, they've known their journey to be here. This is a balance, okay? So I think the hope that we're not going to tip off, you know what I'm saying? We're going to lose our minds and everybody's going to think. So we got to remain in the balanced position. To remain in that balance, and that's why things are not going at full force. They're kind of like this. So that's the problem, is you're looking at different levels, understanding, yes, and a lot of us would like to go fast, but we can't. And I can tell you how many people that I talk about, they're frustrated, they just want to get to a certain point. And I think they're tired ones, they're tired of trying to convince them. They're like, I'm ready to go, with or without, to do what they need to do here and leave. And with the knowledge of really looking at things and not being in fear. And I think what is the key? I have to be in fear. If everybody was not in fear, we would be there, we would be in that concept of understanding. But you have these programs that come in and put that in you and control and contain you in that.
Well, one of the biggest problems, and I think a lot of us know that, and that is mass media. And one of the things behind mass media is they utilize mind control, patented things that they do on the television, that if people are watching it, they're being mind controlled. They get put into a hypnotic state, and then they have subliminal messages going across that their subconscious is totally absorbing. How do you wake them up? You have to get rid of that technology, and I don't understand why.
Exactly. But you gotta, they are controlled, but the fact is they have a choice to step away. There is something down inside, is like, why does that person need that? So addicting. At some point, your spirit inside, your soul inside says, this ain't you. The society is not listening to their own instinct. They're told how to be programmed. You understand? So the awakening of people that are waking up, they've had to go through their own bumps and be kicked down pretty far before you're like, I can't do this no more.
I just shouldn't think that it's fair to have expectations of people that have been mind controlled through an instrument that they have no idea that. I mean, it's just the same as living amongst all these lies. Everything they've ever told us, they've lied to us about everything. It's like, wow. And it's hard for people to muster up the resolve to not be affected by it all.
But the thing,
yeah,
again,
I mean,
go ahead. Sorry, go
I
ahead.
was just going to say, I would love the opportunity to talk to that council, and I would probably give them a big piece of my mind and say, what the hell are you doing? Pay attention here. We've been, lied to, traumatized, etc. How long you going to let this go on? Okay. Just enough already. I don't know what you're doing up there, but stop fighting and pay attention. That's all I had to say.
Right. So this is, I think it goes down to the core of who, and in the core of who we are, there's something inside us resides with instinct. You use that instinct or they're not. Whether that is what puts you in a situation. And now society has dumbed that down to, this is where you have to stand up against that. There's got to be something inside. Follow the instinct. Follow what feels right and doesn't feel right. That is just following everybody else. That's the problem. That is the problem. And a free thinking who sits outside the box, and so society has made it like uncomfortable for you to have an opinion, and it makes us feel uncomfortable, and that's what it is. It makes them feel uncomfortable, and they have to think person's saying, they have to process, and they don't like it. They don't like it. The programming has been implemented since we were a very young age.
And then you add a little trauma to that, and you can't compound the problem. There's a number of people that are saying about your cutting out again every so often, and I think we need to let you know one more time that there's a snowstorm where she is right now, and that is part of the problem. So we apologize for that, but there's not a whole lot we can do about it other than cut the show short and try it another time. But I'd like to try to answer a few more questions before we do that. So please be with us and bear with us and listen as closely as you can. Earphones sometimes help a lot.
Yeah, they do.
And yeah.
Will there be a contact? Or there's another one. Will there be a contact with ET this year?
Oh yeah, someone's asking if we'll be contacted by within a year or the next year.
Well, it's already so probably you think it is the public. Is it going to be public? Year, maybe within 9 months, that you'll have that contact that already happened long time. So I'd say within 9 months that you will be witness to see.
Yeah, a lot is going on. It's just that we're still not seeing a lot of it, and that's part of the thing that really frustrates people immensely. So, you're letting your dog in?
They're having snow all over. It's cold out there.
Yeah, it is.
Like, yeah.
It's even cold here too. Colder than usual anyway. So anyway, let's see what else we got in here. Any more questions? So you're saying yes to the ET contact,
you'll start to see evidence that will be that you'll start to see it, but it's already been in front of you. You're just some type of outfit, but yeah, you'll start to see it.
All right. Well, I don't see any other questions, I think I should let people know that I do have a strike on YouTube right now over a show that was produced over a year ago with Paul and Drake and I think it was right around, believe it or not, election time. Something we're not allowed to talk about without being censored. And I think we were questioning things then, as apparently we don't have the right to question anything anymore. We're just supposed to believe the narrative. So that doesn't set well with me, but anyway.
Right. So I think people are getting their souls of this. I don't want to call it a nightmare, but it just feels like a dream that keeps going and on, and it's wearing all of us down. We're all exhausted. And it just, it started from a beginning, and we happen just so our soul and our body, whatever it is that can just accept it. It's just like going through war. It's going to keep going. You're going to keep going. You're just like, where's the end to this? Where's the end?
Yeah, exactly. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Yeah. And it's hard for people in society. They're like, here, take this, or to covet it. And it's hard. I say the meditation and literally going within, because this is not something 24/7. Not at all. You need to be in nature. It's tiring. I get how tired you are. I get how it feels and emotional and breaks you down. But we're at the verge of this situation that our ancestors are not here to witness, and you are. And know that you were here for them. The process of this is, like I told people, at the end of this will be ease of grace. It will. It doesn't feel that it is going to at the end of this. And then the value, but sometimes we have to go through this type of process. Not that we chose this, not that we wanted this, but we have to go through it. How are we?
Someone said, how are people going to be informed about the reality of all the evil and bad things that have been going on all these years? How are people going to find out?
And I don't even think anymore, if you put it on, going to even accept that. I believe it's a different type of processing. Back to, okay, let's just put it in a scenario. What was going on was true. What the right wing was saying. What's going to happen is, for the ones that didn't believe, they're going to move back into their house, and they're going to tell you, I don't want to talk about it. Don't bring up. This is the problem with this, because of that type of programming that's got them to decommission them out of that situation is going to take long. They are just going to get in front of you and tell you, I don't want to talk about it. It's like a detox situation. It's not going to be easy. So how are they going to accept it? Some may, but some may not.
See, I just got another question that might be of interest. Wide awake, and I get that too. Oh, but I'm looking more so at humanity in general. I don't see enough people waking, more and more each day, but what, maybe 30% of folks who are mostly awake? That wasn't actually the question I wanted, but do you know what percentage of people are awake? But see, that's really a hard measurement, because if you think about it, I mean, there's all different areas to be awake at. You might know something about, say, the education field and some of the problems there, but you might not know anything about the healthcare field, or you might not know anything about the legal field, or something like that. And they all are corrupt. Okay. And then this question, I'll bring this one up. Stated that on November 11th of this year, which is tomorrow, he said that would be the day that the world goes to 4D. Do you have any comment on that one? Jenny, are you still there? I can't hear you at all now. Not at all.
Hi there.
Hello.
Hi, Gail. Dot connector back.
Yeah, I'm glad, because I can't hear Jenny right now. I don't know what happened to her.
Exactly. I don't think anybody's gonna get the date right. I mean,
yes, I don't like it when dates are given. I can't even believe we did that.
Point. You know what? It's a lot of people on YouTube.
Are you saying anything? I don't know what happened to your sound, Jenny, but it's gone. You have no sound. We might have to call this show short. Show short. It's a little hard to say. Oh, this is here. Someone's bad guys don't want us to eat good. What? Wait a minute. A couple of things. I'm gonna put a couple of comments up, because I love our listening audience, because they're smart cookies, and I like to put up some of the stuff that they say, since I can't hear you, Jenny. Okay, the bad guys don't want us to eat good fat so that our brains don't work. Well, there's some truth in that. Let's see. This one I was gonna say. The dragons have awakened up already in helping removing all the dense energy holding others down. I think Jenny's trying to find a spot where her Wi-Fi is going to work for their sound and stuff. It's not working. Not yet, anyway. Oh, my goodness. Hey, they make it so hard for us to try to get truth out there, Here's somebody else says the date will happen when it happens. Now that's the right attitude, Tim. The more you know, I can't. Oh, hang on. Some weird things are happening. I don't know how that.
I got disconnected. I don't know.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because you must, and then it came back on, because I know I had you. It was turned on, and then it was turned back off. It's crazy.
Yeah, it'll happen what it'll happen. It is what it is. It'll be what it will be, right?
Exactly. Are you there, Jenny? Yeah, she says.
I see her talking.
Yeah, I know she's saying something, but we're not hearing her. Her lips are moving, but we're not hearing. Oh, well. Let me see if there's anything else I should put up on the...
Any other questions? Let me look on Rumble.
He said the smart move is for her to reboot her connection.
Okay. Well, with regard to the channel, that's why we're on Dot Connector tonight, because of the strike. So for 1 week, I just want to explain so that they understand. So for 1 week, Gail can't put up posts or live videos. So please look for the newsletter this week. There's going to be a sale on hemp paste. So if you're interested in that, especially Christmas gifts or something like that, they have chocolates and creams and coffees and all that fun stuff. So just so that you're aware first.
Thank you for bringing that up. dot connector, because we've been really hurting. We haven't been having sales. We haven't been having any contributions, and
well, I just
really
listened to a
frustrating
video
sometimes.
today, and it's going to actually be buy 2 get 1 free. So it's going to be actually a really good sale, and it's their last one for the year. So we will have to send the instructions on the newsletter and post, I guess, on Telegram and Facebook. 'Cause
Okay.
yeah.
Let me see if can we hear you yet, Jenny? You're talking and your lips are moving, but we're not hearing a word. You have no audio at all now for some reason.
I think she's circling the house.
Yeah. It's not helping
Maybe
either.
3 times. Good
There
luck.
must be a spot somewhere in here that'll work.
I know I have dead spots in my house where it's more likely to disconnect for sure. But
Yeah. I don't know.
so
Maybe.
too bad Drake couldn't join us. We'll have to get him on soon. See what's going on with him.
Well, he claimed his internet wasn't working at all, so I don't know when that'll come back up. And everybody's internet has been a little bit on the what I'd call spotty size.
Oh yeah.
And like Jenny, she's got a snowstorm going on there, so and it's just not coming back on. So I think we're gonna have to call it a wrap.
Okay.
Our main guest is not able to say much of anything. So we have to have you on a wired connect, not any Wi-Fi.
Ethernet. Yeah, I have mine on
Wi-Fi.
Ethernet,
Yeah,
and it really helps.
Yeah, it just doesn't work without it.
It helps with the Wi-Fi connection too, so you don't have to get radiated so much, right?
Yeah. Well, I want to thank the audience for your patience and for listening. And we will do our best to do this again sometime, and hopefully you'll be able to hear better. It's just we do what we can, and sometimes things just don't work out. So, but we heard a large part of the show, so the part that we could hear was good. And it was a little spotty here and there, and I hope everybody is having a wonderful evening and a wonderful weekend, and we'll see what happens soon. I wish I could ask Jenny for her last words, but I can't.
She'd probably say no fear and go with your gut, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That got a thumbs up. No fear.
And go with your intuition.
And be courageous.
Yep.
And go with your gut and listen to your heart.
Time for the lions to stand up.
Yeah, we need all the lions on board. Okay. Well, thank you again, everybody. We love you out there, and we're working on a chat platform too here eventually. We'll tell you about that when we get it figured out, Dot Connector and I. So I think we'll have to call it a wrap, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you so much, Jenny.
Bye, Jenny. I'm waving my picture.
Yeah,
my arms aren't showing.
All righty. Bye, everyone. Here we go.
We'll stand. We'll stand. We will stand. Standing tall.